I'm intrigued by your term, the equine natural movement. Can you go into that a little bit and tell our listeners what exactly that is and how maybe it differs from other types of body work, like just someone who labels themselves as an equine massage therapist or something that's similar, but obviously is very, very different?
Well, I think probably I need to do a bit of an explanation on what structural integration is. It's hands-on, it's a systematic approach, and what we're doing is we're unraveling all of the interconnected restrictions in the horse's fascial system. So for chiropractic, for example, you'd work on nerves and bones. In massage, you'd work on muscles and circulation. Acupuncture, you work on meridians. In structural integration, fascia is our means. Fascia, most people probably don't know what fascia is. It's a kind of a spiderwebby thin membrane that surrounds, with a lot of stretch to it, that surrounds every muscle, bone, and organ in the body. And inside of each of these envelopes is where all of the muscle, bones, and organs fit. But they're really one interconnected web that goes from the tip of the nose to the fetlock and the hind leg, all the way through. So when something is injured or through lack of use, misuse, injury, something can happen in the fascial system that causes it not to be as elastic as it's supposed to be. And that's what we work on. So let me give you an example. You let your horse out in the pasture, and another horse comes along and kicks him. How many times does that happen? So what happens is, if it's a minor injury, nothing. But, if it's really something that's got some good impact behind it, then the body will send in scar tissue. Scar tissue is another form of connective tissue, which is what fascia is made up of. And what it does is it repairs the area. But whereas the fascia, the connective tissue of the fascia, will go along in sort of a parallel way so that you can really stretch it and it will expand really nicely. When scar tissue comes in, it kind of lays itself over like a Band-Aid. It's a bit of a mishmash of emergency repair. So what happens is when you go to lengthen or stretch in that area, and anyone who's had an injury knows this, you can't quite bend it the same way. Anybody who's, say, for example, injured their ankle, they know it just doesn't quite get full range of motion back again. So that's one of the things that we work with, is we systematically go through the body, nose to tail, and work deeper and deeper in successive sessions, rebalancing and re-stretching the fascia so that all of those bones, muscles, and organs that fit into those little envelopes really can do their job. And what we often find is that, well, actually, I probably should say this a different way. Unlike a lot of treatment modalities, we don't really look for problems and try to resolve them. What we're doing from our perspective is look at it more like problems often surface in areas that are not the cause of the problem. So we go deeper in the structure to find what the source is, where the horse's body really moves and works really well. So our series isn't just about, it's not about finding and fixing problems. It's more about seeing where the horse already is perfect and then reinforcing and freeing up the areas that bring all of that balance and flexibility through. So even though we will be looking to find, the areas where there's been some damage done and, where chronic problems often develop, more often than not, we're looking at how does that horse move really beautifully? Where is that horse doing really well? And how can we reinforce this through the whole structure?